2026 could hit your wallet harder than you expect, because some costs are set to rise by double digits. No wonder rising cost of living, tax increases and welfare cuts rank among German top worries. But it's not all bad. Sure, some costs rise, but you can also earn more money and pay less taxes. And you know how things usually go, right? If you pay more on some end, you can save more on another end. Especially if you follow the tips in this video. So the question is, will you pay more next year? And if so, how much? Let's go step by step through every major financial change so you don't get surprised when your January paycheck arrives. Kindergeld, the monthly child benefit, will rise slightly in 2026 by €4 a month. Every euro helps, don't get me wrong, but this small bump won't make much difference when inflation alone was 2.3% last month. So think of it as a polite adjustment rather than real financial relief for families. And one more update for parents: the Kinderfreibetrag, the child tax allowance that reduces how much of your income is taxed, will also rise, ever so slightly. That means a little more of your income stays tax-free, but the effect on your net pay is minimal. What's far more noticeable is the next change, because in 2026, everyone will pay less taxes. Here in Germany, we have a progressive income tax system. The more you earn, the higher your tax rate. There's the marginal tax rate, which is what you pay on your last euro of income in blue, and the average tax rate in purple, which reflects what you pay on all your income combined. The highest 42% marginal tax bracket starts at 68k in 2025, but in 2026 it shifts up to 69k, an increase of 2%. So while the tax rate itself doesn't change, the limit moves higher, meaning you can earn a little more before reaching that top bracket. And speaking of earning more, you'll also be able to earn more money completely tax-free next year. So if you are wondering how you can optimize your income for 2026, especially when you're in this high tax category, we can show you exactly that in our live webinar on November 18 and in a free one-on-one meeting. You can find both links in the comments. There are all kinds of ways to save taxes, but your maximum benefit will be only 42%. So don't do anything for the reason of only saving taxes. It has to generally make sense for your personal situation. The tax savings are only the cherry on top. The Steuerfreibetrag, or basic tax-free allowance, is the amount every person in Germany can earn without paying a single cent in income tax. It ensures that a basic part of your income stays completely untaxed, so everyone keeps at least a small portion of their earnings, no matter how much they make. In 2026, this allowance rises by almost €300. And this is where the good news ends. No more modest adjustments that offset inflation and boost your take-home pay. Because now that we move from taxes to Social Security, those percentages more than double. And they'll start taking money out of your pocket instead of putting it in. Before we get to what most of you probably care about, health insurance, let's first talk about Germany's public pension and unemployment insurance. It's simply easier for you guys to start here, because all four insurances of the German social security system are calculated in a very similar way. The contribution rate for the public pension stays at 18.6%, split equally between employee and employer. That rate itself does not rise. That's the good news. But 18.6% of what is the question? And that's where the maximum income level to calculate your contributions, called the Beitragsbemessungsgrenze, is coming into play. You pay social security contributions only up to that limit. Everything you earn above that is not charged anymore. And because that limit moves higher, your total contributions do too. In 2025, that limit for public pension and unemployment insurance is 96k, and in 2026 it rises to 101k. So what does this mean in simple terms, and who actually feels the change? If you earn the average German salary of about 55,000 euros, you won't notice any difference because your salary is well below the limit. If you earn between the old limit of 96k and 101k, the new limit, you'll be partly affected since a larger share of your income now counts for contributions. And if your salary is above 101k, you'll be fully affected, paying the maximum possible contribution. That means over 70 euros a month more than this year. And since unemployment insurance follows the same pattern, it rises by almost 5% too. Sounds like a big jump, and it is, but it's still nothing compared to public health insurance, which increases by more than 3 times as much. This is what most of you have been waiting for, health insurance. Because compared to taxes and pensions, this is where the real cost increase happens in 2026. Just like with the public pension, health insurance also has a maximum income limit for calculating your contributions. And since that limit moves up every year, your payments automatically go up too, at least if your salary is high enough. In 2025, the income limit for public health insurance is 66k, and in 2026, it rises to 69k. But that's not the full story yet. That's only for care insurance or Pflegeversicherung in German, which has the same income limit. So its monthly contribution rises by exactly 5.44%. Not huge in euros, but these quiet percentage bumps add up fast, especially when several insurances rise at once. And oh boy, is public health insurance getting expensive next year. Listen to this and tell me it's not rising year after year. The general contribution stays the same at 14.6%, but because it's applied to the higher income limit, the monthly cost rises by almost 8%. For the first time in German history, public health insurance will cost over 1,000 euros per month. Now, if you pay close attention to the numbers, something doesn't add up. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2 here. Why does care insurance rise by 5%, but health insurance by 8% if both are tied to the same limit? Great question! And it means there's more behind this, which brings us to the big one. In public health insurance, you don't just pay the general 14.6% contribution, you also pay the additional contribution, the Zusatzbeitrag. This is the extra percentage each Krankenkasse can charge on top of the base rate. On average, it's rising to 2.9% next year. That may sound small, but it's a 16% increase. And that's why you'll pay more than ever before in 2026 for the same level of coverage in Germany's public health insurance. Now some of you might wonder, is there a way out of all this? Yes, if you're allowed to switch to private health insurance. For that, your salary has to exceed the Jahresarbeitsentgeltgrenze, the annual income threshold for leaving the public system. In 2025, it's 73k, and in 2026, it jumps to 77k. That means you'll need to earn at least 3,600 euro more per year to qualify for private health insurance. If you do earn that much and wonder whether switching to private is a smart move for you, you can book a free meeting with us and watch this video next to learn how to lower your health insurance costs as much as possible. Thank you for watching und bis zum nächsten Mal.